Hello, my ladies, and welcome back to the Joy Talk. I hope you guys are doing so well. Today, I want to talk about how do we move through life when things just don't go our way? How do we move through life when just things are difficult, things are going against us, we're moving against the current, and just things get hard? You know, when just the things get hard and it's really just hard to go through the motion in this period of your life. We all go through these moments. And today I want to talk about this because I know that a lot of us go through different times, go through different things, and it's not always evident what we should be doing and what we can do in order to just move through it all. And that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? Because my ladies, I know you know that amongst all the things that you have to do in your day-to-day, amongst all the responsibilities you have, amongst all the hats that you are wearing, and amongst all the roles that you have in your life, it's like sometimes we go through things that are really hard, like the ish gets tough, but we can't necessarily like take off one hat. You can't necessarily all of a sudden not be a wife or not be a mom because you're going through something really hard at work or your professional career. You can't just put pause on your business because your business is like you're bringing you a lot of headaches right now and you just want to chill out and just like, you know, zone out from everything. You can't put pause on difficult times that are happening with you personally, with your family. You can't put pause on these things. These things happen. It's part of life, and it's about us to know and figure out, how do we move through these things? How do we move through the current when the current is not working with us? Okay. So first things first, I love this quote, and I'm going to not guess who gave this quote because I can't remember who gave this quote, but I love this quote, and it says, "The only way out is through." The only way out of any type of storm is moving through the storm, is just going head down, face up, and going directly through the storm. The only way out is through. And I know you're going to tell me, like, Vanessa, that's so obvious. I know when I'm going through tough times, I know I have to go move through it, and I know I got to go out of it because there's no other way out, right? But the thing is, it's like, being able to tell yourself, okay, I'm going through this really tough time. I'm going through these things that I have not chosen for myself, and it's really hard on me right now. But I know that the only way out is through. The only way I can move through that, the only way I can get better, the only way I can get out of this storm is by just going through the storm and making sure I come out of it with my head held high. Like, there is no better way to just accept the situation that you are in and knowing that you have to just move through the situation. You have to move through a tough time in your business. You have to move through the tough times in your relationship. You have to move through tough times that you're going through personally. You have to move through them. And why I think it's so important to highlight this is that because sometimes we go against the storm. We're trying to fight the storm. We're trying to fight the storm. We're trying to fight a tornado. We're trying to tell ourselves, like, I can fight this. I'm not going to go through this. I'm going to fight it. And I love that we're trying to fight and put ourselves into action mode. But the thing is, sometimes you just got to tell yourself, like, I'm going to move through the storm. I'm just going to ride this wave. I'm going to ride this tornado, and I'm going to move through it, and I'm going to come out of it in the best way possible. Now, when you are going through the storm, when you are going through difficult times in your life, when you are going through moments that are really true hardships for you and where you just don't see the light, you know, like after every storm, there's always a really nice sunshine just shining bright at us. When you don't have the capacity to see like what's going to be on the other side of the storm, here's what I want you to like process. Here's a process, that I want you to bring yourself through and move yourself through, okay? First of all, when you're going through the ish, when you're going through the tough time, when you're going through it all and you feel like it cannot get any worse and all of a sudden it does get worse, when you are going through the motion of some really, really hard times in your life, I want you to first sit with yourself and recognize this is a hard time. I am going through a hard time. I am going through the loss of a loved one. I am going through a tough time in my relationship. I am going through a tough time with my business. I am going through a tough time with my self-love. I am going through the tough time with myself. I want you to take the time to identify and really acknowledge what is going on. Because the thing is, most of the time, we're just going through the storm. We're trying to fight the storm. We're trying to hide from the storm. We're trying to like run away from the storm. But the storm is here. It's most definitely happening in our lives right now. And the thing is, it's about like sitting with ourselves for a second, taking a deep breath and telling yourself, okay, I am through the storm right now. This moment right now is really hard for me. I'm going through a tough time. I don't think anybody else can understand what I'm going through, but I am understanding that this is what's happening for myself. First things first, identifying and recognizing and acknowledging where you are at right now. The second thing I want you to do for yourself when you are going through the whole, the bubbles, the everything, okay? Well, the second thing I want you to do when you are going through the storm is really take a moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Okay, now you're going to tell me, oh God, here we go with the emotions. I ain't got no time. Like, I'm going through a tough time. I don't got no time to talk about my emotions. I ain't got no time to tell myself, like, what am I feeling? Like, what are your feelings right now? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You've recognized what you're going through. You identified it. And now you're going to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Like, what am I feeling? And this is a very strong thing when you talk about feelings, okay? Because the feeling is, I am feeling devastated. I am feeling sad. I am feeling incredibly defeated. I am feeling like ish right now. I am feeling like I don't want to do anything. I am feeling unproductive. Okay, all of the things, right? All the emotions. But this is the key word, my ladies. I am feeling the emotion. I am not the emotion. This is a big thing that I've learned from my own storms, is that sometimes we're in the storm and we're like, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm defeated, I'm unproductive, I suck, blah, 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 blah. And the fact that you're saying that about yourself, the I am statement, is very powerful. No, you're not, Vanessa, an I am person sad all the time. You're in a moment where you are feeling sad. So being able to dissociate the I am, which is an identification of yourself, with I am feeling, which is the identification of the feeling that you are feeling right now, the emotion that you are going through, allows you to kind of have a little space between what's the feeling and what you're going through. Because the fact that you are feeling, for example, defeated right now doesn't mean you're a person who's defeated. Doesn't mean that you're every single day of your life a defeated woman, okay? No, you are going through something very hard right now and you are feeling defeated. That's it. Having the capacity to tell yourself, this is the feeling that I am feeling, and being able to acknowledge that with yourself or even share that with someone is going to create a space where you're not putting yourself in a bucket of I am sad. Like, I'm a sad person. I am a sad person. I'm an unproductive person. And you're not telling your brain and your conscious mind that you're this. You're way more than that, okay? We're way more than the feelings that we are feeling when we're going through tough times. Trust me. So really having the power and the capability of telling yourself, I am feeling this, is really going to help you move through your storm. Third thing, now I know you're going to tell me, girl, because I know us, my ladies. I know how we function and I know how our brain works. We're so quick into telling yourself like a rebuttal. Yeah, but you don't understand. Yeah, but this. Yeah, but that. Yeah, no, I know. But here we're in the storm, and the only person that can make us feel better through the storm is ourselves. Ourselves and God, of course. But you're responsible for yourself, and you have to be able to take the actions that are going to allow you to feel better when you move through the storm. So we said the first thing was acknowledging and recognizing that you're in the storm and identifying what's the hardship. The second part is identifying your emotion by having an I am feeling statement. The third thing I want you to do when you're moving through it, ask yourself, what is it that I need right now? What is it that I need right now for myself? And dot, okay? Period. Not like, what is it that I need right now to feel better and move through the storm and for the storm to go away? We don't know when the storm is going to go away. That's another hard truth, okay? We don't know when the passing of someone we love is going to make us, like, is the feeling of the someone passing, someone that we love is passing, if that feeling, we don't know when it's going to go away. We don't know when all of a sudden our relationship is going to get better. We don't know when our business is going to start, getting back on its feet. We don't know. Okay? What we do know is that we need something in this moment. And what is that you need? What is it that you need in this exact moment for yourself when you're moving through the storm? Not to end the storm, not to finish the storm, not to run away from the storm, not to numb the feeling of the storm, but what is it that I need right now? And sometimes the thing is, like, we need something way more simpler than we think. Okay, when we're going through a tough time, when we're going through a sad time, when we're going through a hard time, when we're going through the ish, it's like sometimes what we need is just some peace, some quiet, some alone time. Sometimes we need some rest. Sometimes we need a really, really, really good cry. Sometimes we need a good brunch with our girls and talking about everything else but the storm that we're moving through. Sometimes we need something that is so simple and in front of us that we don't always see it, because we're not asking ourselves, what do I need in this moment? Because usually, my ladies, and I'm going to point the finger to all of us, when we're going through the storm, usually there's other people in the storm with us. And what happens is we're trying to make sure that everybody else feels good, and we're not thinking about ourselves. My ladies, if you are going through the storm and you are not feeling good, you need to make sure that you are able to take care of yourself before you take care of others. I know it's in our DNA, it's in our instincts, it's in us, okay? We're always going to want to take care of other people. We're always going to want to give and make sure everybody around us is okay. And that's one thing. But we must not forget to ask ourselves, what do I need when I'm going through this storm? What is it that I really need? What is it that I truly, truly feel would make me feel better a little tiny inch in this exact moment, okay? So ask yourself this and really make sure you deliver, okay? Because it's one thing to say, like, I need just a really good cry, I need some alone time, I need some peace, and I need some rest, and not doing it. There's no point in that. You have to really make sure you ask yourself, like, what is it that I need right now? And make sure you act up upon it, okay? So that's my third point. So first point, identifying and recognizing what we're going through. Second point is being able to name the emotions and the feelings that we're going through by the I am feeling statement. Third thing is asking yourself, what do I need right now? Now, I'm not scared to say the fourth one, but like, this is something that is really hard to do when we're going through the storm. It's so hard to do. And I know. And like, depending on the level of hardship and how it's affecting us, it can be very, very hard. So my fourth tip or trick, no, it's not a tip or trick. My fourth practice, I would say, is taking a moment after the first three steps, taking a moment and asking yourself, what is on the other side of the storm? And what is this teaching me? Okay. What is on the other side of the storm? And what is this teaching me? Now, you might be telling me, like, Vanessa, if I lost a loved one, what in the world is this lesson trying to teach me? Like, that I love this person so much and they're not there anymore for me? Like, and that is a true question. Like, we can be so angry when we're in the storm. We can be so like blinded to any type of lesson or any type of sunshine coming out of the storm. But it's really about asking ourselves, what is on the other side and what is this teaching me? I don't have the answer. I really don't know what's the lesson when we lose someone. I don't know what's the lesson when we, for example, have a miscarriage. I don't know what the lesson is when we lose our business, when we lose someone we love, when we go through really hard time in our relationships. But I most definitely know that if God puts something really hard for you in your life, it's because something on the other side is coming for you, and it's going to really, really be beneficial and enlightening for you. Like, some people lose the people that they love to come out of that situation, recognizing that life is short, life is precious, and they all of a sudden become really, really close to other people. And maybe that's something that was coming out of it. Some people like go through sickness and they're like, what is this teaching me? And at the end of the day, it's like teaching you your own strength. I don't have the answer for like what something hard that you are going through is going to teach you, but I most definitely know that there is a lesson and that you are going to come out of this hardship with something, and you are going to come out of this changed. There is nobody out here who goes through hard times, who goes through hardship, and who just comes out of this storm and is like unfazed, like, okay, like business as usual. What are we doing now? No. Whatever it is, as small as your hardship can be or as big as the hardship can be, if you are going through a hardship and if you are going through a storm, when you're coming out of the sunshine state, when you're coming into the sunshine state, you most definitely have a part of you who changed and who've grown and who's learned something. So really, like, being able to tell yourself, this is going to teach me something, this is going to bring something to me. I can't see it yet. I don't know if I will ever see it, but trust me, you will feel it, okay? So that's my fourth practice for you. My fifth practice for you, my ladies, when we are going through it, is just go through it. Go through the motion, go through it. Make sure that you are just letting yourself go. Like, when I say that, it means that, like, we have a tendency, my ladies, to want to control a lot of things. And we have a tendency to want to like resist the truth when the truth does not benefit us, okay? In a hardship, when something happens to you that you cannot control, when the outcome is something that you can't control, that you don't know what the outcome is, when you're going through a situation that you cannot control, it's really important to go through the steps, but also just like move through it. Whatever that looks like, move through the storm in whatever shape or form that may look like for you. Like, just move through it. Move through it. Don't resist. Don't fight it. Just move through it. And I'm telling you, you are going to feel so much better than if you're fighting through the storm, okay? It's kind of like when, for example, your kid is going through a tough time. If you have a child, your kid is going through a tough time and you want to fix everything and you want to make sure he's okay. And we're like smothering the kid and we're just like, we're going to make sure that you feel okay and you don't feel bullied. And we're going to make sure you're going to love this school. And we're going to make sure that this. And you're like asking the kid all the time, but it's just making the situation worse. You know, like there's so many times we go through the storm and we're just adding our ingredients and just adding the things because we want to control, but we're just making the whole situation worse when sometimes it's just about, okay, we're going through this moment. I'm feeling like this. There's going to be a lesson to come out of it. And like, I just got to move through it and we're going to see what happens. And usually that's when it becomes so much smoother to move through a storm. Like when you let go of the need of controlling what's happening when you're moving through the storm, it's really then that you see the storm dissipating a lot easier and in a more natural way, I should say. It's really like when you think about a real storm, right? If we go through a natural disaster and there's a storm and like all these scientists all of a sudden through the storm, they're trying to like create this new machine that's going to like counter the tornado and all these things. And it's just making it worse because we've never been through this exact storm and it's just making the storm bigger. That's the exact same thing. Like we have to just move through it and just ask ourselves like, okay, how can I just make this a little bit more smooth for myself? Okay. So that, my ladies, is how we go through hardship in our lives. This is how we go through hard times. This is how we move through the storm. We move through it. Remember, the only way out is through. The only way out is through. And if you put into practice these 5 steps, I don't want to say steps, but if you put into practice these 5 practices, it's going to help you. Trust me. Okay. So first, identifying, recognizing the hardship, then asking yourself, what am I feeling? What is the emotion? And reminding yourself, I am not the emotion. I am feeling this emotion. Okay. Third thing is, I have a blank on the third thing. I've just been rambling. Fourth thing is asking yourself, what is this teaching me? And the fifth thing is just moving through it. But I'll come back with the third thing. The pressure's on me right now. But that's what's up, okay? So just asking yourself and going through the steps is really going to help you just go through it no matter what the hardship is. We go through small hardships, we go through big hardships, but the process kind of always is the same and it always works in our favor. So that's one thing, okay, my ladies? Number 3 was asking yourself what you need right now. Okay, I want to re-summarize it. First, recognizing and identifying what you're going through. Second, identifying the feeling with the I am feeling statement. Third, asking yourself what do you need right now. Fourth, now I forgot the fourth. It doesn't matter. Okay, never mind. All I want to say, I know these things, but it's just I'm so much into my content that it happens. It happens. Going through the storm. What I wanted to say before I'm losing all my ideas, is when we put these practices into places, it reminds us that this works in our favor. And most of the time, working in other people's favors. We're just trying to make sure that everybody around us is good. And that's a good thing. But we got to also make sure that we are good in any type of situation. And these steps help you put yourself first and help you become an asset for yourself when you are moving through a storm. So, my ladies, that was that for this episode. Let me know how you feel, what resonated with you. If ever you are going through a hardship and if ever you are moving through a storm, let me know what practice that you really want to embody and put into place and how you came out of that storm. And I am so glad to be able to share these things with you because I know we go through tough times and it's not always easy to understand what we have to be doing. So thank you so much for being here with me. As always, you can find me on Joy Talk, joytalk.com. My Instagram is the Joy Talk as well. Send me comments, subscribe, like, and I will see you next week.